Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
Pew, 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 pew.
You don't know the name, allow me to put you on game. This is the Zone Sports Podcast.
Pew, 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 pew.
Yes, sir. It is your boy Big V. You know what I mean? That is the human air horn himself with the Bill Cosby sweater on. You heard? You know what I mean? My boy Corey Cool C. He never dated a floozy and all that. He is not Cherrone Moore. And just like that, I'm jumping right into. I'm jumping right. I'm segueing. I'm segueing right into it just like that.
Can I say something to you real quick, man?
Let's
Before
go.
you
Let's
start,
go. Let's go, bro. How you?
you've been through hell from a sports standpoint. So I'm going to let you rock and you just let me know when you're ready to chime in. Floor is yours, brother.
You know what, man? That is why, I picked Corey for to help me on this journey of ours with this sports podcast. Because, man, he's a great friend of mine in real life. And, he knows me. He knows how I feel about my sports teams. And I'm glad he's given me the floor to rock because I have a lot to say. We have taken some time off. You know what I'm saying? My daughter started playing basketball. They trash, but you know what? We here. You know what I mean? It's all their first time ever picking up a basketball in
Word
their in
up.
their, in their life. And I'm talking
Respect.
about we sitting to two games of 67-0 one game, 66-0 one. It's like that, Corey. But neither here nor there. You know what
The
I mean?
effort, though, my guy.
Yeah, it's everybody's first time touching the basketball, and it is okay. It's only up from here.
There you go.
You can't start out being a Candace Parker off the gate. You just can't. It don't work like that. You know what I
Respect.
mean? Listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you have been under a rock in this sports world, we are here to catch you up on game. And like Corey said, I have a lot to say because um I started out this year just so hype. I was hyped for the Colts. I had us going to the Super Bowl. Y'all already know how I came on this podcast and gave it a pause. You know, I I started out too really hyped, about Michigan and I thought we was gonna at least, you know, beat Ohio State at the very least, but we did not. And early on in the season, when I learned that we didn't have a great quarterback, I quickly realized that no, beating Ohio State was not in the plans. But ladies and gentlemen, I could not foresee what has happened with my Michigan Wolverines within the past 2 weeks. Corey, ladies and gentlemen, the zoners out there, I was minding my business. I remember exactly where I was. I was at the crib, just got on Battlefield 6, getting ready to play, and I get an alert to my phone that Michigan was letting Cherrone Moore go. I say, it's kind of abrupt. You know what I mean? We about 8-3 or 9-2, whatever we are, 9-3, something like that. I didn't really cause for a firing, being the fact that we're not far removed from being national champions. We're not far removed from beating Ohio State. See what I'm saying? We're not
Right.
that far removed, Corey. He was there during the Harbaugh era. We got to give him some credit. Great assistant coach when he was doing the assistant coach thing. So much so that Harbaugh basically wrote him in his will and said, "Yo, big dog, when I leave, give him the keys." Now, I mean, so much so, he was about getting ready to earn $5 million a year. But and I love and as much as I hate to quote my guy during this time, I have to love to quote him at the same time. The great Lee Corso once said, "Not so fast, my friend." Because Corey, I say about maybe 10, 15 minutes after I got that alert that they was letting Sharon go, I get another alert saying he's going to jail. I said, wait a minute. Wait a what the hell is going this has escalated too fast. Too fast in the matter of about 15 minutes. Too fast. Now I'll have to put my phone down, not my game down, and see what is going. Why is Cherrone Moore, a Christian man, the head coach of such a prestigious university? Why would he be? He was just crying last year
Yeah.
to his grandmama or his mama, whatever he was doing. He was just crying on TV, thanking God after we beat Ohio State.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
the first thing he says, I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. We saw it. He did it. So I
Yeah.
said, what has Cherrone Moore possibly done to be going to jail? Then I get on my phone and read he has been having an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. First thing that come to my mind, it, I said, yo, I hope it ain't nobody underage. And I said, hold on, this is college football. Everybody is of age. Even though you may be 18 and he 39, don't mean I would like that. But we talking about America rules. We're not talking about Big V rules.
Legalities.
You know what I
Right.
mean? We're talking about legality of America. So I'm thinking everybody is a legal adult, so to speak, working on the staff at Michigan. So I said, oh, okay, cool. At least it's not that. Whew. But what could be inappropriate if everybody's of age? Read a little bit deeper. Now, the first article didn't really say too much. It was just saying inappropriate. They had to let him go. You know what I mean? And then it said that he had gotten locked up for some things that I was just confused about. Breaking and entering. I said, wait a minute, Cherrone Moore. At this point, I am convinced they have the wrong. Y'all know we love hip hop, so it's a must at this point. I have to quote the great Shawty Low, rest in peace. I said it must be two sides. It gotta be two sides, Corey. It gotta be two Cherrone Moores. It must be two sides. Cherrone Moore,
Yeah.
the head coach of my Michigan Wolverines, is facing a breaking and entering charge. Wait a minute. It gotta be two. I must be confused at this point. At this point, I don't even know what to think. Wait by another hour or two. Matter of fact, no. I probably wait a day or so, and some more details come out. Because the guys at the gym, you know, they thought I was an Oregon fan for the longest because I have this huge Oregon jacket that I bought during a champion sale. It was on sale, nice. It was probably worth a good $100 and something. I called it for the low, maybe about 30. And I like the Oregon. It's a dark green Oregon going across the chest with the duck. So people think I'm an Oregon fan, and they find out now I'm a Michigan fan. I just like the jacket. You know what I mean? And so I'm in the locker room, and they said, yo, you hear about Cherrone Moore? You hear about your boy? Yeah, man, I heard. But did you hear? So they telling me this 5 o'clock in the morning. Now the boys in the locker room was putting me on the game. I hadn't even heard yet because I hadn't even got home and checked and watched any of the get ups and unsportsmanlike. I hadn't really got to the people, the insiders that know the scoop. They telling me he had got her pregnant. He ordered a plan. He door dashed a plan B under his account to her. She was like, "Nah, I ain't getting rid of this child." He goes over there. From what they say, he wasn't allowed in there. He didn't have a key, so that constitutes breaking and entering. He comes in there, threatens threatens to take his life. And I want to pause. I want to pause on that right quick. Yo, dog, listen. them is old school rule. You know, niggas in the old school used to play that game when you try about to lose your woman. Oh, I kill myself if I don't be with you. Yo, stop it. Y'all have to stop because now y'all putting a stink on people who really go through that
Mm,
and also who have mental health problems have to face that. That's not nothing to play about. But what's funny is they said he went in the crib and put the butter knife to his neck. Corey, a butter knife to your neck, and you talking about killing yourself? What are you doing? With a butter knife? A few butter knives? What are we talking about here? What are you doing? Then they say after the debacle broke out between him and her, he yells and said, "Yo, man, you just ruined my life because now I'm getting fired from Michigan." And all. Then they say he went to church. I,
yo,
They make the stop. I could not right no. I could not be more befuddled to hear something like this at 5 o'clock in the morning. I said, I get to the car after my workout. I said, man, this is how rumors get started. These guys don't know what they're talking about. They just saying, but damn sure enough, they were damn near 99.5% accurate. All of that damn near happened how he told it to me. I could not even believe it's the Cherrone Moore that we know as the Michigan coach. And everybody, and if you out there, y'all like, okay, what's the big deal? I don't hear the inappropriate part. He's married. He's married. She works on the staff. That is frowned upon at Michigan. I'm guessing that you cannot coerce in such a way with your coworkers. Now, with some jobs they don't care, or if they do, it's not really pushed upon the workers and all that. I'm pretty sure it's something in the HR guidelines where you're
yeah.
not supposed to be fraternizing in such a way with each other, building
But
relationships.
it's mostly with your subordinates. So if you're a supervisor, you can't
Ah,
mess with someone that works under you.
okay,
And-
that makes perfect
yeah.
sense. So I'm saying that this guy is locked up. Then Corey, after I get home and see that what the guys in the locker room was telling me was true, I see the next day or the day. I mean, it was like expeditiously. He was about to appear in court. I said, "Yo, this is moving way too fast. What the hell are we talking about?" I still can't believe it as I speak about it now that escalated so quickly.
Mhm.
I cannot even. Dog, can you imagine in a matter of, let's say, 4 days, you sit here, you get your side piece pregnant, she's keeping it, you don't like it, you rush over there. After losing your job, you rush. Oh, by the way, they don't owe you the 5 million no more. You probably got that news too. Oh, I'm not. I don't even get my payout. Nah, big dog, you're done so. You're done so. You're done so. So now you have all that on your mind. You rush over there steaming. She don't want to let you win. You break and enter, threaten to kill yourself, and then you go to church. And then you get locked up. Did they come get him from the church? I don't even know.
I don't know where they got them from. All I know
But
is I saw my man in that white jumpsuit. I'm
I
like,
could.
yo,
They had the Corey. They had the Corey. You talk about somebody that looked so sick in that little cage when he was on his court date. He
yeah,
was sitting in that little cage like they had the guys during COVID where you couldn't go into the courtroom. They didn't even allow you in the courtroom, big dog. They had you in the cage and you was looking like, yo, what the fuck has happened in 4 days? You look like you had dog. You not built for this. I don't even know how much time that you're gonna face with this breaking and entering and whatever else that they have you for. It's about 3 charges, y'all. It's about three, and they serious.
yeah.
Let alone, you know, your wife, you humiliating your wife and publicly. Look, man, listen. Look, man. I'm just gonna be real with y'all. If you're gonna cheat, cheat respectfully. It is a thing called in cheat respectfully. It is a thing to have some kind of decency to how you cheat. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Y'all out there know what I'm talking. If you cheated before and you cheated respectfully, you know what I'm talking about. It's a way to go about and handle your business so you don't make yourself look stupid. More importantly, you don't make your girl or your wife look stupid.
Or your kids for that matter, Big V.
Oh, don't even get me started. He got too
Right?
little. Don't even get me started on that. But you do this in a down year for Michigan, basically, and now all the recruits from Underwood and everybody else, they're getting the hell out of Dodge. They are already hitting the transfer portal as we
Yeah.
speak.
Yeah.
Underwood has taken his Michigan shit down from what I hear off of his social medias and is already focusing on the transfer portal. And this is just gonna trickle down and trickle down and trickle down. Because now we're out of head. Now we are without a head coach. The head coach that we had. Oh, and by the way, we have a bowl game to play. On top of all of this, these kids still got to suit and boot up. Pause for the bowl game. Oh, and can you imagine that what the kids are gonna be on that field saying to them regarding this situation? Cause trust me, cause in between the lines, in between the
Yeah.
inches and all that,
Yeah.
things get said, and you want and all you at home you don't know. All you see is kids just pushing each other, pushing each other. You don't know what has been said, but
Yeah.
nasty things are already going. I can guarantee you,
Right.
it is getting nasty on social media. These kids are getting DM. You can just imagine what is being said. Corey, I just and just when and just when I thought that my sports season couldn't get any better in air quotes. The coach turned around and hired. The coach turned around and hired a 44-year-old grandpa named Phillip Rivers. Corey, I could not believe what I. Let me calm down. Let me get a swig of my cookout, who has some of the best chill wine, and this could be an ad cookout. You know what I mean? Holla at the Zone Sports Podcast. Salute. You know what I mean? But just when I couldn't think, just when I thought my sports season couldn't get any better, I get the alert. We are hiring Philip. You know, at times when I'm alone, I wonder to myself, Andrew, look, where art thou? Where art thou? Sometimes, and when I'm alone, I remember this on the good days when we almost won that Super Bowl against Tom Brady and them, with the whole tuck rule, all that other bullshit. Don't let me remember. Don't make me reminisce on that. But I remember a great quarterback we had, man, like Andrew Luck. Then he just retired out of the blue on it. No concussion protocol.
Third preseason game.
Was about 26 years old. Just say, you know what? I think this is enough. Corey, we hadn't really seen nothing like that since what, Ricky Williams?
Right.
How he retired? You know, I just and don't the guy don't do social media. No, nobody talks about him in the media.
Yeah.
You don't
He's
see
actually a GM for Stanford.
my you know what my little brother just told me this 2 days ago. I was getting it.
Okay.
I couldn't even believe that somebody knew where Andrew Luck was at. I couldn't
Right.
believe it. But it suits him. He's out of the spotlight, never been seen. He's probably inside of the office every day. And I probably wouldn't even recognize Andrew Luck if I saw him right now. But man, what a guy. What a guy. What a Colts legend.
Yeah.
Not a Chargers legend, but a Colts legend. And that's where I'm confused. Why are we bringing back a Chargers legend? He is not a Colts legend. Feel how you feel about Phillip Rivers. He is not a Colts legend. He didn't play for us like that. What are we doing? He don't deserve no ride off to the sunset with us. Go get with if you want to ride off to the sunset, Grandpa. Go get with your team. You are not going down in the Hall of Fame as a lifelong Colt. You deserve that with the Chargers. Salute. Salute. You did your thing We know what you did over there with that squad. We know you was a hard-nosed quarterback. I salute you. I will not salute you at 44 years old. You've been away from the game for over 5 years. You are not Tom Brady, fam. Brady never stepped away. He never stepped away. At this point, if you're gonna go after this guy, 44, and again, 44 is old in football terms. It's
Yeah.
not old in regular terms. But in the great words of Phillip Rivers, that gummit, if you're gonna hire Phillip Rivers, you might as well get on. You might as well page Joe Montana while you at it and see what he doing. You might as well page him. Get out the Skytail pages and page Joe Montana and send Warren Moon a fax. I guess if we're gonna be looking for Grandpa quarterback, won't you fax Warren Moon and see what he doing? If this is what we doing, Corey, we only have about 3 or 4 games left. Why are we bringing in a 44-year-old? Oh, everybody. Oh, well, you got Richardson. Where's Richardson at? Glad you asked. He's suffering from an eye injury. He can't see shit. I get the letter on my phone today. Oh, he back in practice. I bet he is back in practice. I know he is. Shit, you want me to go out there quarterback? I work out every day too. You want me to develop my arm in 4 days and lead y'all to the wild card of playoffs? That's what you want? I'm available. I'm available, and I'm cheaper than Phillip Rivers. I'm available. I just don't understand the move here. And now I come on this podcast, Corey, and say all the time, the Colts would do Colts things. The Colts will find a way to do something cultish at this point. You know what? When Daniel Jones got hurt, you can't help that. That's life. It's the price of playing football. You cannot foresee this injury. You just can't. But Corey, we go out and get a guy who's one hit away from intensive care. What are we doing here? You know what, Corey? How did you feel about the Cherrone Moore situation and the new hiring for the Colts?
Be quick because you echo a lot of my sentiments. All right, Cherrone Moore. I tell people and things that I'm also teaching my daughter as well. Don't make a bad situation worse. Don't make a bad situation worse. I'm not about to get up here and get on my holy high horse about infidelity or anything like that. I understand the struggles of the male species. I
Yes.
understand the fact that we are the hunters. And I also understand the fact that, hey, man, when something get thrown in your lap, you may or may not be using your best judgment whether to exercise that or not. We
Being,
know,
being, we know being faithful is hard. We know it's hard.
we know we do. I'm telling you. Other coaches have done it, right? You have plenty of them that quote unquote had. I can't remember the Arkansas coach from a few years ago, but anyway, of people that worked under him, and he got fired.
Yep.
The rules are the rules. But man, listen, it's funny. I'm a dove back to the levels type deal. What you were talking about with infidelity with Cherrone Moore.
Yeah.
And I spoke to my wife about this
Mm-hmm.
because I know what us guys think. Guys, there are, for just of us being experienced men, there are levels to everything.
Uh-huh.
And I asked my wife, I said, on the level of disrespect, where does this fall at? Because, and I'm just talking about in the realm of infidelity. And she was like, this has got to be the worst. This has got to be the worst because she made a fact or a note that, you know what? I work for my said company, right? And let's just say I do the same exact thing Cherrone Moore do. Outside of her, my family and her family, nobody cares.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not affecting 85 other students on a football field. Forget bowl games, forget Ohio State. I'm talking about a lot of times, Big V, if not majority of the time, coaches are looked at as being like a secondary. depending on your scenario, your main father figure, strong role model in your life,
That's a good point. Good
NIL or
point.
not.
That's a good point.
And it is so tough to take direction from somebody you don't respect.
Mm.
That is tough to do that. And he he let those kids down. He let every single black coach in D1 down because you got to understand, and I ain't gonna go overly racial on this topic, but we all know what it is, Big V.
Yeah.
You could probably count on one hand how many black D1 coaches it is in D1 football right now,
Mm-hmm.
right? The point I'm making is that we don't get those same looks. And unfortunately, in society and in the workforce, black men have to pay for other black men mistakes
Mm-hmm.
that our Caucasians brothers and sisters do not have. They're looked at more as individual. The fact, and you said it about 10 minutes ago, the fact that Jim Harbaugh said, hey man, nah, give the kings of the kingdom to this guy. You know how many other people that Jim Harbaugh know just from being a coach in the NFL. Forget college. He coached Stanford at college with your boy Andrew Luck. You
Mm-hmm.
know how many coaches that he knows that will probably break somebody off to be the head coach of Michigan. Michigan, one of the premier universities in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And Jim said, you know what, man? Nah, give it to the crybaby over here who was just crying about last year. Give it to this guy because he's a stand-up guy. You seen that movie Goodfellas? You know what, man? Yo, he's one of us.
Yeah.
Good fella. He's one of us, Big V.
Yeah.
And you fucked it all away.
Mm.
And so now you make a bad situation worse. Again, you get old girl pregnant. I'm not judging on that. That part is what I'm not judging on at all. Again, you ain't about to get me on this podcast saying, hey, man, hey, the temptations are real, but you also have to understand what you have to lose, right? And again, I ain't saying the shit's easy. I ain't saying that at all, Big V.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'll pull the curtain back on me, right? I'm scared of child support and I'm scared of alimony. Okay. I had a homeboy of mine, and again, I ain't judging. By the grace of God, I have not had to deal with this. One of my homeboys, when I first got in the workforce out of college, he showed me his check. Me and him, we do the same exact job, and showed me how much he was getting banked for child support. And so, to your point, if you're going to do it, you better make daggone sure you got some daggone prerequisites going on. The proper cautionary measures are taken. Don't be bringing nobody to your house. Okay, I ain't saying do it, but it's levels to all of this.
Yeah.
And the fact now that because I'm about like you, I'm about like you, Big V. When I heard it, I saw it on the ticket. I ain't really paid that much money. I'm like, well, Dad, Michigan had a down season, but
Yeah.
that bad we got let go. And
Yeah.
then again, I'm just going to regurgitate everything you just said, and everything else didn't happen. So, dude, that's on him. Only he can answer for the decision that he made. Now, everybody's trying to get at old girl talking about, well, why does she wait to now? You ain't got no control over that. Why does she wait to now to bring it up? Does it really matter?
And we don't know that. Like this could have been a conversation they've had
That's right.
off and on. Like we don't know the ins and
That's
outs of
right.
it because
We
that's
don't
even
know a whole
unfair.
lot.
Yeah, we
So, I
don't know.
mean, it's the whole honor amongst things. I'm
Mm-hmm.
cheating on my wife. You cheating. Well, I don't know if she's cheating or anything like that, but I'm
Right.
just speaking from, not me, but Cherrone Moore.
Right.
Hey, I'm cheating on my wife. But what's honorable in that? Can you trust me? Can I trust you? Because you know I got a wife. So, it's interesting what you trust people with when you in certain scenarios.
I mean, he trusted enough to up a salary from 45,000 to 90,000. He did that too. He doubled the salary.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, a raise ain't normally double the salary. It's normally a couple $100 up or a couple grand at the most. You doubled it.
Yo, so that's wild. So yo, he deserves everything that he got. They both are adults because I'm about like you. I thought it was like some R. Kelly type shit. I'm like, oh
Yeah,
gosh, like
she was
no.
about 32, I think. Yeah,
Yeah, 32. He's like 38, 39. So
yeah.
that's on him. To the Colts. Jesus Christ. I'm almost glad that we didn't pod last week because I felt for you, dog. Like I didn't text you. I didn't like I like this with this and when I heard about Phillip Rivers, man, I was like, okay, I heard that they're gonna sign him to the practice squad. And I'm like, okay, all right. Like, okay, practice squad, no big deal. Like, okay, well, on some just in case. And then as the week went along, he's gonna start. He's gonna start. And here's the thing: you brought up the Hall of Fame, right? And the thing is that you got to be out of the NFL for 5 years. So now, with him coming back, he
Oh,
restarts the clock all over again. Now, to be fair, I think he's a fringe Hall of Famer. It's not necessarily he's going to get in. I don't think he's first ballot. I'm not even sure if he's
yeah.
second ballot. But everything in me was like, he's not going to come back. And then he came back. And Big V, when I tell you, I watched that entire game, and I'm like, damn, he don't look half bad. He's extremely limited. He's not moving. He ain't throwing over the top, but he could do some cool bubbles here and there, bubble screens here and there. That's about as far as we're going to get. And I was rooting for y'all to win because that would have helped out the 49ers. I think where y'all was going against it was either I think it was the Seattle, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
yeah.
And I was rooting for y'all to beat them. And when I saw the score, and it's like, oh man, oh, y'all got to drive. Oh, he throws a pick right at the end, near the end of the game. And granted, y'all had 16 seconds to drive back down the field and all that. And I was just like, yeah, man, I'm glad that he didn't get toe tagged.
Yeah.
But I'm with you, Big V. Hey, I see Steve Young on Pardon the Interruption every Thursday or every Wednesday. Give him a call. Hell, if you really want somebody, see what Colin Kaepernick's doing.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's what my mom says.
see what he doing. See what Cam Newton doing. They both want to come back and play. You went to Phillip Rivers. I'm 44 years old, Big V. I got to watch how I walk down the stairs every morning
Yes,
when I'm grabbing
yes,
my coffee. And
yes.
I ain't no athlete, virtually or in real life. I stink on both aspects. A double what the hell goes to both of them, I guess.
Yeah. This whole podcast may be called "What the Hell," because man, I'm watching the NBA Cup and I saw that the Knicks win the NBA Cup. You know what I mean?
Oop.
Salute to them. But it was quickly overshadowed by the actions of Josh Hart. Ladies and gentlemen, while they were holding up the cup, if you will, they was hoisting up the trophy. Josh Hart just takes his thumb and sticks it in Jalen Brunson's ass. Yes, you're hearing that right. Josh Hart took his thumb and stuck it in Jalen Brunson's ass while they were hosting the trophy. I watched this video about 500 times, and I'm watching him just do it. And when Jalen turned around, it's like Josh just kept hoisting up the trophy with everybody else, like it was something normal. I don't understand why Jalen didn't slap the shit out of this guy, because that would have been my normal reaction, or at least a good push. And what the fuck are you doing? That type of thing. But this, I'm confused. I don't know. Then what make matters worse? Josh Hart gets on Twitter and said it's AI. Hey, look, we gotta cut it. Everything ain't AI. We saw you on national TV stick your thumb in this man's ass. We don't know, Corey. I don't know what happened. I do not. And then in the interview, like a couple days before that, he was saying a whole lot of pause shit in the interview about Jalen Brunson, and saying, the interview asked him something about, him being a good point guard, and he went into uh he's the best like inch by inch I've ever seen, like a whole lot of, and even after Jalen he said something, Jalen goes, "Hey yo," like hit him like, "Yo, bro, You wilding. He keeps wilding out in that whole conversation. The whole everything that came out of his mouth was just so paused. And then you go and stick your thumb in his ass a couple days. I don't know what to think of his Corey. Can you let me know what may have happened?
I cannot. Because clearly Jalen Brunson was bothered by that. I actually cut it off. I cut after they won the cup. I didn't see that exact part, but like you and everybody else, I look back on Twitter, and first of all, this whole thing is AI. And look, some things can be AI. This is going to be equivalent to when Twitter first came out. When someone says something really shitty, then they come back and be like, "Oh, my Twitter was hacked." Now the new
Yeah,
thing will be like, "Yo, that was AI."
that
So
was AI.
I'm going to operate under the fact that this was 50-50. And I'm going to say this. Look, man, whatever people are into is whatever they're into. It's a free country, right? However, if Jalen is really bothered by that, Josh Hart, you need to take that shit easy, bro. Like, you need to, like, like, assuming that this is 50% true. We fighting. Because that's unwanted behavior. That is harassment. That is, you could argue sexual harassment. If you, I mean, I looked at it and I didn't want to keep looking at it because I thought I was going to start watching some soft porn in a second. And it's just like, yo, I give Jalen a little bit of credit in the sense of what the hell just happened. You know what? I'm not about to ruin this moment with my teammate on this stage.
Yeah,
Like, but at the same time, it's like, yo, I'm snatching him up by the collar, like you said. Oh, I'm pushing him. I'm pushing him away. Like, yo, real quick, Big Vic, I know we got to wrap. Even when we used to play basketball in Jeff's house in particular, right? I don't know what it was, but my game was really good at Jeff's house. Shout out to my boy Jeff Hodges, aka Buff. I could just shoot well from his house. So I used to get smacked on the ass a lot. But other people, hey, good shot. And it, I feel crazy. Pause, they smack it hard, right?
yeah.
I ain't like that. Like, yo, man, dog. Don't smack me on my ass when I make a shot. I'm telling y'all mofos, like, yo, chill out with that.
Yeah.
Now, it's like 8 of them, 1 of me. Now, in the laws of power, you never let nobody know your weakness. I shouted out that was my weakness by saying, yo, don't do. So now I got 7 to 8. When I'm missing shots, hey, good shot, Corey. And you'll get it next time. So I couldn't do anything, right?
Yeah.
But it has come to be an accepted form of, hey, that's attaboy,
Yeah.
in basketball. The thumb in the ass. Let me tell you something right now, dog. You might get shot. Damn, getting punched in the face. Don't do that. To me, it is, hey, again, whatever you are into, Mr. Josh Hart, there are people out there who would love for you to do what you just did to Jalen Brunson. They're out there. Go get them. To me, it didn't look like Jalen Brunson wanted any part of that. So, dog, be easy. Y'all having a great season, man. Don't do this. Don't do that. What the hell?
What
Jesus.
the hell, Josh? Stop it, bro. Stop it before they get HR involved. Are you crazy, man? What are you doing, man? There is no place for that on the NBA court, especially after y'all just won the NBA Cup, man. But hey, what are you gonna do as a Knicks fan? You know what I mean? Hey,
You go
man.
do.
Shout out to everybody who be tuning in each and every week, whether you're watching the clips on social media or watching the whole thing on YouTube, man. We appreciate it so much, man. Corey, man, I appreciate you, man, doing the pie a little later than usual, man. You know
All
what I
good, my
mean?
brother.
Y'all already know, bro. You know what I mean? To the zoners out there, man, y'all know how we end this thing, right? Right.
Hey.
Hey.